Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike. It's Friday the 13th. It's been a spooky day, and this is our weekly recap. This is my weekly recap, goes out to my subscribers and everybody that follows me in my newsletter and on YouTube. If you're interested in learning about more what I do, please visit me at smartoptiontrade.com. Click on real-time option flow, get all the information there. And, trial for 25 bucks a month. Can't beat it. You'll learn a ton, get some good trades along the way, and then decide what you want to do. So this week, not the easiest week in the world. Why? Because we saw some characteristic changes in the markets. What do I mean by that? Well, after last Thursday's big gap up and go, we had 3 days of massive chop before we decided to blow up and blow up higher. And there was rotation. We had some dips. The market held in. I've been saying for weeks we're going to hit an all-time high ahead of the Fed. I can pat myself on the back. Congratulations. But we came up, we ran into resistance. We got a little extended short term. We saw the put the call get hot, and we got a little bit of a beat here down. And today, so far, just an inside candle. Now, for what it's worth, guys, I don't think they let this market go ahead of the Fed. The Fed is on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. We have options expiration next Friday. And you know that we're about to get more China news. You can see that coming here. So, market overall feels fine. Good time to take profits, lock some stuff in. But there were things to do all week, and there was some interesting flow throughout the week. For today, in today's world, this move up was, again, a time to be cautious. Said to stay very, very name specific. You see the markets are here on the lows of the day. We're on the lows of the day because they have started to take profits in the banks, right? Banks had a big run. It's one of the reasons we ran. The banks ran up high. You can see them slowly drifting in, going red here. Okay, and really we were led by small caps and the IWM. That was the big rotation into this 158 area. We said, look out, you got a reversal candle here today. Doesn't mean it can't continue, but it needs to rest. It needs to cool off. We don't like big run-ups. We like stair stepping. Go up, go sideways, pull back a little bit, go up. That creates for a better, longer market. When you get those big blow-ups, you eventually get the big come downs as well. So that's what really drove the markets this week. But when you look at some things like the VIX, there's no fear here, right? VIX has gone down. We lost 16 this week and haven't even tried to reclaim it, and just drifting down back into a lower volatility environment here as we go along. So for me this week, I got chopped up a little bit, finished strong, and did a little bit of work, rotation work. So Roku was a nice trade early on Monday morning. I think that was one of the few times I even touched Roku here. Should have shorted, but didn't. Lost a little bit on Apple calls. That would have worked. Had a nice trade in Doku. Snap, I was in that flow. I hate that name. Took a 50% loss on those options. And after that, I really just went back and said I wasn't trading very good the first 2 days of the week, and just kind of reset myself and got into it, and then found my way here and just started making money. Had a nice week. These are going to close dead. Those lottos, $40 worth of lottos there. And I did take off my OSTK, my long-term position, red. I didn't have never had a big position in it, only had 400 shares total. Still a nice little loss, but a heck of a lot better than it was. I also traded a bunch of options calls around it and made money on that. So, all in all, my big account would hit a new all-time high. That's the one I never touched for retirement. And everything else here, was okay, and just cleaning up. I also sold calls against my bank position. I've done this a couple times now. I own the stock at 31. So what did I do today? Got filled at 98 cents. So, I'll take in some premium here. Why? Because I think the banks have run too far too fast. So what do I like for next week, and where are we going? Well, when we look at flow, Microsoft had tremendous flow yesterday. The September 138s, the 140s, and the 142.50s. I like Microsoft here. I didn't take it yet because it's still going sideways. What I love about this, when you look at this chart, okay, holding this trend line on the way up, looks just fine. Boeing, another name I want to keep an eye on. Why? It's got that gap that starts here at 384.53 area, and I got a notification. Lotus went right to it yesterday, just missed it and came in, and we're here. We're holding, and I said it had a hold 375. So I like the way that one looks. From a flow perspective, we had a lot of flow this week. That was interesting. Bausch & Lomb, they continue to pound on those April 25s. It's got a nice move. That one I wouldn't chase here at this point. ATVI, they continue to pound away on this one. It's consolidated all week. I made some money on it. We had to be quick in it, though. Still consolidating nicely. We saw some big buying in GT calls into the 15s and 16 calls. It's had a nice move up. Looks like this still has some room to run. We'll see if it gets a little pullback to get in. And then they came after the home builders. They had the XBHB, got to get that right. The home builders, nice move here. Len, there was a big call spread to 55s by 60s. We saw them, they hit Toll today. And Toll, they hit the October 40 calls. So you're seeing the home builders seeing some action here. What they may be thinking here is that we're going to rotate now into the home builders because we're going to have cheaper rates, and that should drive more home sales and new home sales as well, and financing. Bottom line, there was a lot to like here. If you like the China, FXI saw a monster buyer here into the October 4150s this afternoon. This one's trying to wake up. I was trying to play BABA for a cheap break today of the 180 area. Couldn't do it. They pounded away on it. But I like BABA the way it's setting up. It's at a quadruple top. JD, they also bought a ton of the October 33 calls on this one. This one's setting up again. And then IQ, they also absolutely obliterated this with options. They were hitting the 22s up there out in October. We also saw a September 20 put seller yesterday. Keep an eye on this name. It's trying to wake up. Bottom line is we're seeing rotation. They're rotating out of the names like Shop and Twilio and TTD and these names that ran up huge, and they're rotating into names that are value plays. We're seeing them go into the banks. We saw Energy move this week, right? We're seeing some beaten up names. So you're seeing rotation in the market. So you just have to be nimble, have to shift your feet. So I hope everybody had a great week trading. You want to check me out, Mike at smartoptiontrading.com. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and YouTube when I post this. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll catch you all on Monday morning.